If you walked into a classroom, could you spot racial bias or racial inequity? Things like
how the students engage in the classroom and how the teacher engages with them, how they interact with each other.
would you see it?
I personally really want to see a lot more representation of minorities and underserved communities in classrooms such as AP classrooms.
Would you hear it?
Sometimes students or any other of my friends and teachers make fun of my accent.
Any racially unequal treatment of students, no matter how unintentional, does harm. And that is why we walk.
We're so glad to be here at Monning Middle School.
It's how every Fort Worth ISD Racial Equity Walk starts. A quick meeting of teachers, district administrators, the principal, and the school's equity team.
And we're going to visit classrooms using our lens of racial equity.
We run through the protocol, things like observing, asking questions, and gathering information by isolating race. There's also a checklist of things to look for.
We're going to look at the walls. We're going to look how teachers interact with students.
I would ask that we also have a lens on what are students being asked to do.
And there's a reminder of the seriousness of the task.
We're going to experience some discomfort because we're going to ask some tough questions today.
Before the walk, the principal and her campus equity team provide data broken down by race.
Our African American students are not receiving what they need to be performing as well as their white peers.
One of the things that's I think interesting about this campus is that in fact it is diverse.
So you've got some successes, but we've got some opportunities for growth as well.
And then a final reminder before breaking into teams.
This is never to be a gotcha. They know the kinds of questions we're going to ask and definitely know that we're coming in the spirit of support.
Okay, so we're going to be heading towards Jenkins.
This team's first stop is a humanities class.
What is moral law?
You should love life in the pursuit of happiness.
It's a class of racially diverse, engaged students.
We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon. Good job, thank you.
For the next hour, with a lens of racial equity sharply focused, the teams observe classes in almost every subject. English,
And then she turned to me.
math, science, social studies, special education, art, and PE. Each team member refers back to their list of look-fors, including the lesson materials. Do they reflect the student body? Are there opportunities for students to speak and listen? Where are the students seated? Is there small group instruction? Does the art and pictures on the walls depict multiple cultures? The teams take notes and ask questions.
How do we make sure all of our offerings are high quality?
It's a majority of students of color in your regular classes, and it's about 50-50 in your pre-AP classes. And so why is that happening?
We're going to talk a little bit about some growth opportunities.
The walk ends with the teams back together for the most challenging part of the process, the debrief. We start with positive observations.
And the culturally responsive books was very good. And the kids were engaged, the teacher did an excellent job.
We visited 6 classrooms, and in all 6 classrooms there was evidence of relationships between teachers and their students.
Several of the classrooms, or most of them, had settings where the students had an opportunity to talk.
And then I want you guys to do a turn and talk, and we're going to do that for 3 minutes.
Then, the observations we call opportunities for improvement.
Who would like to begin the conversation?
A lot of the regular classes were actually overfilled with students of color.
The geometry class was largely white. There were 2 Latinx students in there, 1 biracial, and so it just made us think about how many kids are then actually transferring from pre-AP into the advanced coursework and what that says about our disparity rates in academics.
And our top math ones, that one is still not as diverse.
And there's no glossing over, just a real give and take aimed at finding solutions.
I have seen transformation on behalf of the staff and Ms. Kirkpatrick's folks, adding diversity to the staff. So I think that it's very intentional.
The students felt empowered. You didn't see one race of student more comfortable in discussing the topic than another.
We make it fun and engaging, but still make it relevant to the concept that's being taught.
Equity walks remind us we can all do our jobs better. Thank you to our schools for their trust and transparency in support of a quality education for every child.
It's a really, really positive feeling about that, Monica, and your leadership, so thank you.